In this TV6 Investigates, the Michigan Supreme Court made a decision in April that will affect hundreds of people currently in our state's prisons.
19 and 20-year-olds who were sentenced to mandatory life without parole are now eligible for resentencing. TV6's Dan Grenville joins us to break down what this law change means for Upper Michigan.
Thank you, Brady. Grace, I wanted to understand how this law change will impact our court systems and prosecutors' offices. I was able to confirm that there's one case in the UP that will be resentenced as a result of this change. Marquette County Prosecutor Jenna Nelson breaks down the rationale behind this change and what it means moving forward. Marquette County Chief Prosecuting Attorney Jenna Nelson says the foundation for this change can be traced to a 2012 U.S. Supreme Court decision. Miller v. Alabama determined that mandatory life without parole for juvenile offenders is unconstitutional. Nelson says in 2022, the Michigan Supreme Court then extended protections to 18-year-olds in the People v. Parks case.
The rationale of Miller and Parks was then applied to 19 and 20-year-olds who were sentenced to mandatory life without parole for offenses they committed when they were under 21.
She says that 2025 decision by the Michigan Supreme Court considered multiple factors.
Your brain's not fully developed when you're 19 and 20 years old. Also just wanting to really use individualized factors for juvenile offenders. And again, when I say juvenile offenders, I am kind of talking still about the 19 and 20-year-olds, even though we don't think of them as juveniles in the legal sense.
Throughout Michigan, she says there are hundreds of cases that will be resentenced as a result of this change, though almost all are downstate. We reached out to prosecutors in Dickinson, Houghton, Delta, and Marquette counties and found only one case in the UP. That case is in Marquette County. Earl Plow was convicted of the first-degree murder of Colleen Ryan on February 26, 1982. His sentence was handed down on December 21st of the same year. Nelson says it's up to prosecutors to decide what sentence to pursue during the resentencing process.
What that can look like is it can look like either going forward on a motion to continue that sentence where the burden is on the prosecutor to show the life without parole sentence is justified. In the cases where there may be the thought that life without parole is not justified for a specific individual, you can agree to have somebody resentenced to a term of years.
She says she understands this process can be painful for people personally impacted by the murder cases.
If you want more information about it, about why the court made the decision that they made, it's certainly something that I would suggest you talk to your prosecutor's office about, see if they're willing to discuss that with you. There are going to be people who are going to be personally affected by it. When you have a case that you thought was a done deal some time ago and you had a mandatory life without parole sentence, you're sort of reopening the wound, so to speak, because those are serious cases. Those are first-degree murder cases.
We will continue to follow this story and update you during the resentencing process for Plow. He's currently being held at Lakeland Correctional Facility. He will have to undergo a retrial. We do not yet know a date for that hearing. If you want to see more stories from TV6 Investigates, you can watch them on demand. You can find all of our previous stories. Click on the TV6 Investigates tab on uppermichigansource.com or find the category on our free TV6 Plus streaming app. Grace?